Alright, so I'm back here with another game demo. This one is really outside of my normal wheelhouse. I'm actually going to turn the volume down because, God, that music is loud. This game is called Tiny Bunny, and it was recommended to me by a friend. And I do have to warn anyone who is going to play this game that it requires at least Windows XP to run. So be aware, you people out there who are still using Windows 98. It seems to be some kind of a horror-ish game, which again, I don't do well with these types of games, which is why I generally avoid them. Also, when I first started it up, it's free to play. When I first started it up, it was in Russian, and I couldn't figure out how to switch the language. There's these little paws up in the top corner that let you switch the language. So, if you download it, know that. That is a little bit of a tip, because it fucked me up. Anyway, going with the game. Now that I can read everything. Alright, new game. The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneering, twined in the air. Is this a visual novel? They were shouting and laughing, and arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot in its days, and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling, whizzing, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves. There was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Still. Oh, hey, look, it's a raccoon, like in the windowsill. Is it? I think this might be a visual novel. I'm not sure what to think about this. Hey, put away your book. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Oh, it's bad for your health, apparently. Look at how slouched you are. Oh, I get it. Posture. Hide? What if I don't want to hide it? You know, fuck you, Mom. I'm gonna read where I want to read. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. I was stuck in a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Olya had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials. You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. This has just become a traumatic reading by me. I think the game broke. Ignore. Oh, I can just ignore the error. Why don't more games do that? Okay. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. I am not mature enough to read this. It looked like a jellyfish from Cousteau Odyssey? Cousteau? I can't read French. I love that show. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. Or how cold the Black Forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showed me with a cold glare from her green eyes. Oh, sorry, showered me. What did I just say? I get it! Or I'll get it. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for the spoon. What is this carved on the other side of the table? Oh my god. Kyapnyech. Karina, apparently is how you pronounce that. Despite the letters. Karina. Ha! That's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Should I remind her about it? No, she's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagine her being my age, sitting under the table. I wonder, was my mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? I imagine my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed where Olga sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. Taiga is a special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, sniffing you out, trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you under the ground. And that would be it. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashing dishes and mutual accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening in on one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. She had already bought a casket. She was dead. She couldn't bring one. And she called it her cute funeral box. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. It was black, unupholstered, with neat colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all of the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead... They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. I crawled out from under the table. Olga was done with her cookies and was looking at my share with a sly woodland... Share like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze towards the frosted window. There was a lot of dark pines out there, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass. Olga, look, it's a fox. Oh, that was in the beginning. That is a really creepy pause menu sound. Holy shit. I'm reading through this, but I'm tempted to just keep clicking forward. If this is just a visual novel, then... Okay. You know what? If this is just a visual novel, then I'm just going to keep reading through this first bit and get to a point that seems like a logical conclusion and give my thoughts on the story. If there is gameplay, I may cut out a decent portion of this and then get to that. Olga, look, it's a fox. Where? I thought it was a raccoon. It looks almost like those optical illusion thingies they put on the back of student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little, and look under a certain angle, not outside, on the window. Look, here's the nose, and here's... Hey, eat up! God, this chick is like... Yes, just a moment. I don't see anything. Hurry up, there's not much left. Ah, there it is, but it still doesn't look like one. I'm telling you, it does! Nuh-uh, it does! Stop it, these kids, I swear. Now I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared, went away. Only the frosty patterns, similar to stretched out nettle leaves, kept creeping up in the glass. Oh god, he's gonna beat you. My dad entered the kitchen with long measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. Honestly, this guy's got a much better beard than I do. I won't lie. Mom would always ask jokingly, "Come on, shave it off, it stings." Oh. And this was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Olga always covers her ears whenever she hears something like, "What's the point in all this?" through the wall. "It's all for your sake," Dad would reply, "for the sake of our family." I always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with a D. Devo? Devo? Is that like a Russian version of TiVo? I don't even want to finish it. Oh, divorce. Oh. Ha! That one took me a second. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken into two different families. Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window. You and your owl talk again. You said you believed me just yesterday. Oh, sorry, I was reading that in the wrong voice. Has anybody seen my car keys? I remember leaving them on the windowsill. Right. Maybe you did, and maybe you didn't. You're a grown man, a father of two, and still... Karina, please stop. Just let me get ready in peace. Your keys are in the basket near the phone. Well, thank you very much. Anton, stop making a martyr of yourself and finish eating already. And the owl? There was no owl. But there was one! It had a giant, glowing eyes. Olya sprung up from her chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers the size of an apple each. Last year you had Babai. Oh, did I click on this? Hold on. Babai. I can't... is this like a vocab word? Can I... Oh my god, every menu noise is creepy as fuck! Babai. In Slavic folklore, a nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving children. Okay. But I saw it! Olya shifted her gaze back and forth from Dad to Mom, to me, but couldn't find any support. Have you thought about befriending it? You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice? Don't bully our girl. She's just afraid to sleep alone because she isn't little. Olya pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, well, that is a strict look, honestly. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad doesn't give a fuck, though. Dad just snorts in reply and left, ringing with keys that he just found. A minute had passed and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house? What? It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? Mom moved to the living room and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Holy shit. That's creepy. Olya had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under the blanket. Sometimes she would jump up the window of the night. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped to take her mind off the troubles we had with the move and our parents. Holy shit! And then Olya said that she saw a giant flying monster outside her window. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Olya refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After tonight, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words. What to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? Just last night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking of what to expect in my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of the new school term. A new term. I'm making up words when I read these sentences. My imagination drew long, twisting hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures, cut out of a template. Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces, and pairs of eyes blinking inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. Their cruel glares filled with icy sneers. They made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me and beat me down, stomp me with their bloodied shoes? The damn school can burn for all I care. I just wished for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see people who were just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of new offensive names for me, worse than the previous one. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of monster. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the wall. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Olga begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagined my mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number." What? Or, "Anton is not around." Also, what? Anton is not around. I imagined my future classmates lying in their beds, just like me, listening to the howls of the invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all. But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? I don't know, girl with thick glasses? I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mother. My mom? The house creaked, pressed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easygoing during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners, on the closet cobwebs and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my diseased family, with their ashen eyes, were hanging on the walls in places of my drawings. The floor was... I'm sorry, can we look around? I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing if they're actually changing anything in the background while I'm reading this. That would be an interesting little touch, but they aren't doing that. The floor was squeaking, rusty drains were moaning, the attic was occupied by noisy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. And then I realized I was, in fact, hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. It was mixed with the sound of the wind, of the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. By the way, if anyone's listening to music, this is a piano and not a flute. Just wanted to point that out. I'm not saying this kid can hear the same music I can, but this is definitely a piano and not a flute. Because a piano sounds nice and a flute's annoying. I took up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing... Oh, that's a flute. That's a flute. That's a flute right now. Wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it there amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Someone was dancing in the field. Oh, God. No, they're not dancing. That's a fucking League of Legends match. Alright. I do actually want to finish this, and I do actually want to finish it kind of on my own time. Because I'm enjoying this, but I also don't want to read the entire thing aloud, because if it hasn't become obvious yet, I'm not very good at it. But no, like, this game was free, like, entirely free. The entire game was free to play. It took me a while to get it into English, but you can buy the soundtrack too. The soundtrack is $2, and I think I might buy the soundtrack just to support the game developer, because I like this so far. Who knows how long it actually goes for, but, I don't know, I'm like, the story's got me hooked so far. Like, I want to finish it. So I think that it's probably worth a play. But it's not the best thing for this format. Also, this kid's an idiot. That's not haunted. There's nobody out there. That's a League of Legends match. You're just watching it from a distance. Thank y'all for watching. Hopefully you watch again soon.